What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, back here to bring you guys another video today. So welcome to this week's edition of Stocks to Watch for this upcoming trading week. So let's not even hesitate to discuss this. It's a huge week for earnings. Tomorrow, Monday before market open, we have Bank of America, Charles Schwab. Tuesday before market open, we've got Goldman Sachs, Johnson & Johnson. Tuesday after close, we've got United, we've got Netflix. That's two huge ones as well. Wednesday, we've got Tesla after hours. We've got many people who have traded Tesla with me this past Friday. So Tesla's definitely going to be another one to watch this week. We've also got Procter & Gamble Wednesday before open. Thursday before open, we've got AT&T, American Airlines, Nokia as well. Those are going to be definitely interesting. Then, Thursday after hours, there's not that many interesting ones. But moving on to Friday, we've got Verizon, American Express. I'm definitely looking at those two. So like I said, all round it is a huge week for earnings. Of course, if I had to pick a top three from the ones I just mentioned, definitely Netflix, definitely Tesla, and definitely American Airlines. Three of those that I've traded big in the past, and three which I'm looking to trade big again this week. So let's jump onto Yahoo Finance now. As you guys can see, as you guys know from my last video, markets were down this week. Looking at any articles here. Well, Zuckerberg is telling us he doesn't think he has a core business. That's not a good sign for Meta, so maybe we want to put Meta on our watch list. I'm seeing sour patches here. Buyers backing out of the market. Okay, yeah, Netflix and Tesla earnings. Well, okay, Bitcoin above 90k. So anyway, let's see. Let's go into trading view now. Look at a few stocks I'm watching. I'll be honest with you guys. I've got a few of the stocks I usually watch. The usuals. AMD, Tesla, of course, Netflix, QQQ, obviously SPY and Walmart are going to be there as well. Oil stocks are going to be there. CVX, MRO, Oxy, they're going to be there as well. ExxonMobil as well. Apple as well. But either way, let's see what I'm looking at and why I'm looking at them. So we're going to start with Apple because two reasons. One, because I'm looking at Apple for the long-term shares. If we can get to $125 this month, that would be ideal. Shout out Miyagi. He is looking to buy Apple shares just under 124. I'm looking to buy Apple shares at 125. But here you see my levels on Apple. So this is Apple over the past 7-8 months, the daily chart. So we struggled to close above the moving average Friday. I think we're still going to push and drop down. We might push up towards 145 this week. Yes, of course, it's a potential option. But otherwise, if we don't, then I'm looking for us to fall back into around $135, this support zone right here. See where it wicked off right here. And it's a pretty simple one for Apple, right? If the market starts downtrending, Apple is most likely going to be downtrending, and you can take advantage of the puts. This week it had 3 red days and 2 green days, and that one green day ended up being a doji candle. But I am looking at Apple puts as the market sells off. If the market does happen to push up, then look at Apple pushing towards the moving average and here, this line of resistance around 145. So yeah, really, there's 2 ways you can play Apple. Then we've got Tesla, of course. Tesla, I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at downside. My price targets for Tesla, $200, $180, and if we break that, $155 for Tesla. Those are my price targets, I'll be honest. You guys do want to understand that their earnings is Wednesday. This could have huge effect on how the stock plays out. The run-up to earnings could be big. It could start pushing up, but then could sell off after earnings. It could release some premature news and start selling off before earnings, breaking the $200 level. Friday, I traded Tesla, made me great gains. I'm trying to make good money off Tesla again this week. I'm intrigued to see what the news is in the anticipation of earnings, running up to earnings. Let's see if Elon says anything, or Tesla gets a price downgrade from a big analyst. Who knows? Let's see how it pans out. But for sure, here we go. $180 is my price target if we can break below 200. It's very simple. We break below 200, and this green zone here, the bottom of this green zone around $180 is my price target for Tesla. It dropped almost 8% Friday. We took advantage of it. If it drops anything like that again, best believe we're going to take advantage of it this week. Now let's jump onto American Airlines. Here we are. American Airlines currently sitting at $13. So I'm looking at a push up to around $14. But hey, American has so much potential upside for the long term. Now in recent weeks, I've had my price target hit twice to the downside around $11.84. But unfortunately, I didn't manage to get in on the calls to the upside. let's be honest, you're not going to hit every single play that comes your way, right? So like I said, here's a bit of a double bottom here on the daily chart around 1184, which is my price target. It has started uptrending since. I'm expecting a push up to around $14 in the run up to earnings. Now, depending on what earnings does, of course, it's going to determine how far the stock eventually pushes up or further declines. I'm thinking after earnings it will drop a little bit. So what I'm saying here with American Airlines to play is to trade it in the run up towards earnings. That is all I'm looking at. A push towards $14 before shorting it again. Moving on now to Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX. Look at us stuck in this little bit of a range for the past 2 months. We finally broke to the downside before getting back into this range between, I'd say, 218 and around 250. We're kind of stuck in that range, and we briefly went to around 211 before getting back into that range I've been talking about. Look here. We closed just below the moving average, right? If we can push up and break out the moving average, we can look at calls to around 250. But here's the trick, guys. I'm expecting Netflix to sell off. Really, it's puts on Netflix, in my opinion. I see us going back to this $195 level and then potentially even lower. Again, puts on Netflix. We all know what happened in that famous earnings earlier this year. It's sort of like crazy. It dropped from highs of 336 all the way down to 220 and then continued to sell off. I'm expecting a rejection at the moving average going into tomorrow and then further sell off before Tuesday. After earnings as well, I'm expecting a sell off. I'm being honest with you guys. I only look at Netflix puts in this case. Now, doesn't necessarily mean I'm definitely going to play it because this is earnings. And with earnings, you never really know what's actually going to happen. So it's still a bit of a gamble. So like I said, I'm expecting Netflix puts. So let's say if you were looking at trading Netflix before the earnings, I would say look at puts. That is purely my opinion. Moving on to our next stock. A stock that we've traded so many times in the last few weeks. A stock which I own many shares of and a stock which I speak so highly of. ExxonMobil, ticker symbol XOM. Last week I tried to trade, or this past week I tried to trade it. I wrote in my pre-market watch list on Monday. I'm expecting oil to sell off and cool off after a strong run. That is what happened. But I got in on the calls a little bit too early. See how it pulled back all the way to the moving average? I'm looking for a similar trade this week. So I'm looking for it to pull back to around $98 before trading the upside to maybe 103 and potentially beyond. So like I said, ExxonMobil calls are on my radar. I do love trading this stock. I do think it's one of those stocks that when you learn it well, it can produce great results for you, especially with the swing trades. Now, again, price target would honestly be first here where we got that hit at those highs of 103.32, and if we can break that, then 105 should be possible this week as well. But first, let's see if we can trend towards this moving average once again. Do keep in mind the RSI is about to cross over, which could be a bearish sign. But if it does not end up crossing over and they do start breaking out, then again look at the course. But do keep that RSI in mind because that will give you an indication of what the stock could potentially do. Have my daily resistance here around 102, have my weekly resistance around 105.70. Those are two price targets to look out for with ExxonMobil as well. Now moving on. Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. I need to actually order some stuff from Amazon. But hey, I'm looking to pick up shares under $100. So here is my level of support, Amazon. If the market continues to sell off, you best believe my price target is $100.98 with the red. There are a few different support zones here. We pushed up towards the daily support zone and got rejected, closing at around just under $107. I still think it's got more potential room to sell off, like I said, and potentially even below $100. If you look at the RSI, it just recently crossed over. There you go, you see it there. And it didn't manage to cross back over to the upside. So that is a sign that it could potentially continue downtrending. If you look intraday on Amazon, 15-minute time frame, if you want to get in on the puts on this, you want to look up for one of these pushes up to the moving average before it gets rejected and continues to sell off. I'm very bearish on the market right now. I mean, how much lower could we go? Yes, in all honesty, if we look at the S&P 500, here we go, SPX. Yes, we're a lot closer to the bottom than we are to the top. I think everyone can see that. We hit yearly lows a couple of days ago on Thursday. We hit yearly lows before that, just the week prior, and then we hit yearly lows in June. So what I'm saying is the price point we're currently at, I'm expecting again for us to touch yearly lows this upcoming week. But there's so much upside long term. I'm actually quite enthusiastic because, like I mentioned every video, there are so many different great stocks that are on discount. Stocks like Uber, I see at a huge discount. Of course, I always mention Apple, Tesla, Netflix, so on and so forth, AMD, Nvidia. But Uber at $24, I like it. If I can get it under $20, I'll definitely be happy. That's one stock which hasn't been around $20, since around July, and before that, since I say pre-pandemic times, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, exactly. So if I can get Uber at those cheap prices, I'll be happy. Now, the last stock I want to look at for this upcoming week is Affirm, ticker symbol AFRM. Affirm is at $17. What I'm looking at for Affirm, right? Looking at the daily chart, I would definitely like to see if we can retest these lows from around $16.70. That's about $1 or just under $1 drop here, $16.50, $16.70. Think around there. I'm looking at that for Affirm. I do believe that as this sells off this week, it can reach these $16.50, $16.60 levels. And if it breaks that, be careful, guys. We could be seeing $14 very quickly. So Affirm is also my watch list. And then remember, they have earnings coming up the first week of November. So that's in about 2 or 3 weeks. But as you can see, it's under all three moving average. That's a bearish sign. It just crossed down on the RSI. Bearish sign. It is oversold, but it doesn't mean that it won't get cheaper. As you guys know, the cheap can always get cheaper. That doesn't change. The cheap can always get cheaper. So that's a few of the stocks I'm watching for this week. I hope you guys did enjoy this breakdown. As always, make sure you drop that thumbs up to show the appreciation. Let's get those likes up. We're not hitting the same levels as we were a year ago, 16 months ago, 18 months ago. So let's try and get those likes up. Also, please drop a comment. Just let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know how you feel about this upcoming week. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the red button and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. And the last thing I want to say is, we killed it in the Discord this week. I said in my watch list, look, I was enthusiastic about this week and it went well. I'm even more enthusiastic about this upcoming week and it's going to go well. So come and check out the Royal Trading Academy if you want to trade with us. There's plenty of potential in that group. We're doing charts, breakdowns, live sessions. We're doing futures, options. We're doing it all. Come and check out the Royal Trading Academy. Then I've also got the Stock Option Starter Pack. That is a group of 10 videos which talks about the calls, the puts, different trading strategies, how to trade, different kind of markets, terminology, the Greeks. All that stuff is in the Stock Option Starter Pack. So go check that one out. And then, of course, you guys know to tap in with my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok at The Wealth Prince on there. And overall, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you guys are ready for another great trading week. But come check out the full watch list. It will be available in the Discord. I will drop that in the Prince's watch list section, pre-market. Thanks a lot for watching today's video. That is it from me. Have a great Sunday. I got into making, you got into making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.